Welcome, hello, Yasu, hi, my name is Tai Körner, and welcome to my little series, my little currently series about demon allies and entities. And today the topic is how they join our lives and who they are. Because in a few videos I did already hint on that they may be a part of yourself already, or that you did invoke them, and sometimes it can be that you already did some skills in help of them, or that they are just teaching on you to unfold your skills. So this is what I want to dig into today. But before I do so, if you don't know me yet, make sure to subscribe my channel if you want to stay updated. And also I give you a little instruction about who I am. My name is Tai Körner and I'm an author, I'm a black magician, I'm a follower of the draconian path. So in this regard I'm working with the Cliffwood, and also I'm working with tantric aspects and with runes and tarot and so on, and I'm a natural born empath. So this all together gets into how my magical practice unfolds, but also I'm in a deep contact to an entity which is with me all my life. So this is why we dig into this topic now, because there is so much bad talking about entities joining your life, supporting you on your purposes. So let's get into that. At first, I want to share with you some right-hand path knowledge as about Buddhism. There are the so-called Devas, which are mostly, to most people, are invisible. To those who did open the third eye, and yes, I was laughing there as well until it happened to me. But as you unfold your energy fields and this inner or third eye or divine sight, whatever you name it, does open, you can see them. And in that case, they are quite bright beings, beautiful beings, and they are also defined as divine gods, which are originating to the heavenly realms. And in Buddhism it is said they do not occupy human, they just impact them, teach on them, and they are not immortal. They are just they grow far older than human. In Hinduism there is also the term of left-hand path to find. It's the point to grow into a part of heavenly divine, to merge into. And there is the other path of Hinduistic tradition, which goes for the left-hand path, which goes for self-deification. So in Hinduism, you find Devas and Asuras. I will get into that later. About Devas, it is they may also occupy human, sometimes even from birth. And I don't know where exactly I did read it. I got 3 books I suspect of where I found it. It was Tantra Path of Ecstasy from Georg Feuerstein, and Serpent Power Arthur Avalon, and the third one is Ecstasy Through Tantra from Dr. John Mumford. One of that 3 was it. Nevertheless, all 3 are worth a read. No easy read, but very worth a read. So, however, one of them told that there is sometimes happening that a Deva even occupies a human. So what does a Deva? A Deva is basically a teacher who is guiding, teaching, maybe even judging on these behaviors of human, so to teach them to grow over themselves, to become a better version of themselves, so to say. So there are basically 2 kinds of teachers. One is maybe occupying, and the other is just joining, helping you by being close, by being near. So you could also include every entity around, like, guardian angels, like fetches, Fylgja, whatever, so which are joining the family, supportive. Or you can take it for demon invocation or evocations for example. So basically every time you do anything with entities which have no body, you are calling in them either to your life space or to your physical space. So in Hinduism there is something even more interesting. As I said, the Asuras. The Asura and the Deva are of the same origin. So both of them are basically gods. They are of higher realms. So while the Deva are the light aspects, so being of kindness, humbleness, teaching people to more fit into societies and more fit into inner growing for raising your spirit, the Asuras are the darker aspects. And these darker aspects may be grief, may be rage, maybe behaviors which are searched by if you do shadow works. And so this is something very interesting if you work with Asuras. It is not like in Christian mythology, there are the demons who will destroy you. It is not that kind of a negative being. It is a negative being which can face you to your own dark shadows which you're hiding before yourself. So maybe you're a dam of jealous. And this contact to an Asura might face you to this inner dark aspects which you did hide before yourself. And only if you get into contact with these dark aspects as well, you can become complete. Why? I will dig into that this video. But it is, to put it in a nutshell, if you compare the Deva and the Asuras, it's basically the same frequency as if you take on hermetics as below, so above. So there is knowledge both from the Devas to find as for the Asuras. And so this backdraft to demon or not demon, if you go for the Christian aspects of demon and you really research these entities, you will find out that most of them were demonized gods of other cults before. So I always say it's stolen knowledge and deformed into a so-called book of knowledge as EA Bible. They may do whatever they want to. I do mine. But however, most of the so-called demon were gods. And some of them, of course, were gods like, for example, Lamashtu is known as a goddess of, one did worship her to save pregnant woman to have a safe birth. And on the other side, she is told to kill babies, to kill mothers at the pregnancy bed, and also is told to be the reason to kill men at night, so seduce them and so on. And these are the negative aspects of her. But also she was one of the higher realms, so she was no demon, she was a goddess. And this goddess was demonized when it came to the darker aspects of her, while on the other side she was the one keeping up the balance. However, demon, not demon, this all depends on what you're aiming for. Because if you only want to be, somebody smiling in the corner, being unified with everything, and one day merging with the overall God identity, it's your cup of tea. And so you're fine if you only work with the light aspects. But if you want to become total, and if you want to become complete, you also have to face your dark shadows. And this is when the darker entities come into game, because there are great teachers amongst them. However, all entities got something in common. They are older than we are, and some of them were previously human, so these are no gods, or today's they are, as for definition, but before they were human. So probably their name is not known. Also, they might be from higher realms, So like the Deva, the Asura, the angels might come from higher realms, might also be something from outer realms, so outer dimensions. And there it becomes interesting, because if you got a name, you can invoke them, you can call for them, and you could integrate them into yourself or into your space of living, so they can be an ally to your life, to your path work. But there are also some who are of outer realms, and as there are no physical matter anyways, why should any tongue be able to give them a name? So they are bearing a name, but it is a frequency. And this is something interesting, but I get to this again. However, the entities are, no matter if you see it from a left-hand path or right-hand path, or if you just work with things which fit to you, it is always making contact to a higher entity to learn from them. And you can learn from them because they are older. They already did face aspects, or in a case of a human which became a divine entity, they did already challenge points on which you're still working on. So this is about that. And so you can just clean up your essence to, like the Kabbalistic, to merge with the overall goddess or god or whatsoever, or you can unfold your essence so to be complete as an entity, complete in your essence, what in the end means nothing else than deification. So these are the two approaches you can do, but to know your Alice is very golden on that. So, okay, what is the benefit about that entities which are obviously not written in grimoires? What is the benefit on entities which do not even own a name which you can speak by human tongue? There are some benefits. First of all, they are not in boundaries. So you know it from daily life. If you say light and dark, there are one who are seeing through these veils and are telling, okay, both got its benefits, because without darkness there is no light, and even within darkness there is a light, and this light can spot on your darkest hidden secrets. And if you only gaze into the light like a moth into a flame, you don't see anything at all. So you need a balance between darkness and light. But this is my personal approach on that. And as I always say, I'm not a representative of the Order Dragon Rouge, because I'm just a student there. But this is my approach. I think if you only gaze into the dark, you do not see anything. You have to find your torch within this darkness. And if you only stare into the light, you don't see anything at all, because you get blinded by. The entities which got no name are free of this kind of boundaries. They were never bound to Earth realm, because they never got a human name. And if you only can call them by a frequency, this is also something else. You do not invoke them by calling a name. You invoke them by mimicking the frequency you do. And this you can do in singing, or just inside of yourself, or by instruments. And here we reach a very, very magical aspect, which would dig into deeper things, of course, because it opens endless possibilities, especially for musicians and singers, but also to a random magician who just sings along for their rituals. If you find the right frequency, you tear down veils and you get into contact to entities which never were in contact to Earth plane. just to put it in a nutshell. But I will end it here, just as sound is magic. So what is the entities we want to call for? It is entities who are supporting us on our ways, and also it is entities which are, in best case, both light and dark. So what are the entities we want to call for? It can be entities which are with us all the time, but we didn't recognize them. Or it are entities which are around us all the time and we didn't see them. And also we can call forth or invite them to join us or to take host within us. And all this sums up to the absolute beneficial coexistence of an older being teaching you how you can evolve as they are today's. And these entities can teach you how to either liberate or how to enlighten as you please it for your work, and there you focus on. And it is going to get them. So this for today, and I wish you a wonderful time. Check in for the next one.